Go.
Hi, it's John Vance here at Peoria Nissan. I'm stuck on the roof here at 9151 West Bell Road to support the Nissan National 10 event where we're out to sell 150 new Nissans, and we thought, well, we were up here trying to do well, we could do some good in our community, and just like the deals downstairs, it's getting plenty hot up here as well. Joining me today is Kimberly with the Arizona Humane Society to give us tips on pet safety, which is a great topic. Kimberly, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it. And let me make sure I have your last name right. Okay?
It's Searles.
Searles.
Yes.
Okay, I know that we did that ahead of time, but sometimes I'll have a hard time with that, and I apologize.
No worries.
If you don't mind, I wouldn't mind asking you a couple of questions. Obviously,
Sure.
pet safety during these what I'd call inclement weather months that we have, and the extreme summer heat that we enjoy here in Arizona, poses a great danger to pets. And I guess one of the things that I always think about when I'm out driving around or I'm shopping or whatnot is, why is it so dangerous to leave pets in cars? And especially even if people think if it's only just for a couple of minutes, like they have to run in and grab something.
Sure, yeah, and that's something that we all kind of maybe are guilty of a little bit every now and then. And most of the time in the cooler winter months, it doesn't really hurt as much. So just to kind of give you some perspective, even on an 85-degree day, the inside of your car can actually take less than 10 minutes to heat up to like 102 degrees. That's pretty extreme, that's pretty fast. I mean, you wouldn't leave a pack of crayons in your car, so
right.
Certainly you wouldn't want to leave your dog in your car. Even with the windows cracked, I mean, it's still too hot, their bodies aren't able to cool off. I mean, they're in an already enclosed space, even when the windows are cracked, there's not much airflow going on. So yeah, that can lead to heat exhaustion, heat stress, even death.
Well, let's talk about heat stroke. That brings up a good point, actually. I mean, even though it's a few short minutes and the car does heat up that much, which we all know from living here, what are the signs of heat stroke in a pet? You know what I mean? What should you do if you think your pet might be suffering from one?
Right, well, let's actually take it a step back from heat stroke and go to heat exhaustion, because really those are your first warning signs. Loud, rapid panting, a rapid pulse, their eyes are glazed, they're just really kind of lethargic, excessive salivation. Obviously, a big factor would be excessive body temperature, or elevated body temperature. They're whining a lot, they're agitated, staring, and even vomiting, actually. So those are all signs. And so, if your pet shows those symptoms, it definitely is a sign that he could be in danger. So.
And then what should you do if they're in danger, or at least to that degree?
Right. Well, the first thing you want to do is definitely start cooling your pet down. Put him in the shade if you're out in the sun. Put him in the shade, cool him down. Get some water on him, pour water over his body, give him water to drink. Do the best that you can to, really kind of focus on his head, his feet, and his groin area. Those are the, hot spots for the animal, and so you want to make sure that you're attacking those first. Those are the main points for injury or for release for heat. So, again, when you're giving up water, you want to give small amounts. You don't want to let them just drink the whole bowl all at once. All that's going to do is kind of contribute to the problem, make them sick in the long run. And then, seek immediate veterinary care. Go to a veterinary emergency clinic. Call your vet. Do what you can to get him seen and from there.
Excellent. I think that's good advice, and I think that there's a lot of people out there that probably don't always know what to do. I mean, we would think to maybe cool them down, but maybe don't give them too much water. I wouldn't have known that necessarily.
Right.
What are some of the best measures to protect pets from Arizona heat, just overall?
Right. Well, obviously the most obvious is to keep your pet indoors if you can. I mean, sometimes that's not always the case, but definitely that's the best policy. You're going to save yourself a lot of trouble. Keep your pet from being stressed out as well with the heat. Also, whether they're indoors or outdoors, you need to provide access to cool drinking water at all times. They need to be able to have that access. Same thing with shade. If you do, there's some folks who just can't put their pets indoors, and that's understandable. But again, they want to make sure that the pet has access not just to cool drinking water, but also to shade. And actually, that's actually a law in Arizona. You could be subject to animal abuse charges if you do not provide adequate shelter or drinking water for your pet.
Wow. That's really good.
Those are punishable by law, actually.
Well, we have to protect the animals too, right?
We have to protect the animals for certain. You know, a lot of dogs get excited. Some people will say, oh, you know, I try to leave water out for my dog, but he's so excited he knocks it over. You know, you want to make sure that if that's the case, that the water dish is secured down. Either maybe put a hole in the ground where the dog dish is already down so that he can't knock it over. Find some way to secure that down so that your dog can certainly have that available to them. You know, there's some dogs that that are outdoors that they love water. You can consider a baby pool for the dog. You know, let them splash around in that.
Like the one we have out there.
Absolutely. You know, also, but you want to keep in mind, even if you have a swimming pool in the backyard, you also want to take protective measures. Again, you know, dogs are just as susceptible as children, especially if they're dogs that aren't necessarily comfortable around water or large bodies of water, such as a swimming pool. And it's also not adequate drinking water. You know, you have chemicals and stuff in there. You don't really want your dog drinking a whole lot of that during the day. So you want to make sure that you have the, again, cool drinking water.
Well, they could be exposed, obviously, you know, to misfortune right around swimming pools, just like happen regretfully all the time, you know, so I think that's good. And you brought a pet who needs a home, didn't you, Kimberly?
We did. We actually
did. Who did we bring?
This is actually Coco, and let's see if we can get her here. Coco.
Hey, Coco.
She seems to be enjoying the shaggy pools.
Hi, Coco.
She is, they're saying she's a Chinese crested mix. Not quite sure. She looks a little bit more like a Maltese to me. She's got a little bit of everything in her, sweetheart. And again, she's really enjoying the shades.
She is. Can't blame her. It's warm.
Oh, no.
She's like, it's warm up here on the roof. I know what you're going through.
Oh, here we go. She loves the, I'm sorry.
No, I've got it.
She loves laps. Sure. She loves laps.
Uh-huh.
She's a great lap dog. In fact, she wanted to sit in my lap the whole way over in the car.
Good traveler, too, huh?
Yeah, she's about 2.5 years old. So she's already house trained. She's actually doggy door trained and potty trained. So, you know, she's actually one of those pets that she's going to fit right into a home.
How does somebody adopt Coco? How does that whole process work, or any other animal for that matter?
Well, you know, it's a pretty simple process. Just come down to one of our shelters. We've got 2 actual shelter locations. One over at Sunny Slope over at 13th Avenue in Hatcher. They can go to our shelter there. We have another shelter located over at South Mountain, our Campus for Compassion, which is 15th Avenue and Dobbins Road. And we also have a couple of adoption outlets in some of the Valley PetSmarts. There's one out in Goodyear, one over in Deer Valley, throughout the valley, as well as we have our Biltmore Fashion Park store, Petite, which is a great concept where we have shelter animals there that they can be adopted. So you just come in. If you're a renter, bring in a copy of your lease agreement and have your landlord's name and number ready. We will verify. We want to make sure that, just to cut down on animals coming back into the shelter, we want to make sure the policy is intact, that that animal is available to be there. You know, especially a lot of apartment complexes have kind of some bans on certain animals, you know, like, you know, the larger breed dogs, like German Shepherd, pit bulls. So they have some breed-specific requirements.
Is there a big need right now for adoption of pets?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm certain there probably always is. But
there always is. You know, the summertime is really the hardest time for animals. That's when our shelters are the most overcrowded. We're seeing animals coming out from like a lot of cruelty cases, a lot of injuries this time of year. So we're bringing those in from our emergency animal medical technicians. We're also seeing a lot of strays, you know, and abandonments continue to be a problem right now. So we'll see a lot of that as well. And then there's just, you know, people, the economy is still not quite where it was, and people are, you know, having to turn in pets that, you know, they just can't afford to care for them anymore. I'm not quite sure what Coco was turned in. I think she was surrendered by her owner, but I'm not quite sure what the reason was. But she actually is friendly with other dogs. She has been around cats and older children, so she's one of those pets that she's going to really just be a great pet. She's very happy. She was so excited to go. She saw the leash. She was very excited to go for a walk this morning. So.
Well, Kimberly, I just want to thank you for coming up, and Coco, thanks for coming. Somebody's going to find you and be a great family for you, and it's great that you came up here too. But we want to thank you, and we want to thank the Arizona Humane Society for your participation in this community awareness. From all of us here at Peoria Nissan, we really do. And I'm John Vance with Peoria Nissan. Visit us at stuckontheroof.com, where you can view this video as well as many others, as well as you'll be able to view it on the Arizona Humane Society Facebook page and other social sites. Come up here and see us at Peoria Nissan for the best deals during the Stuck on the Roof
.com campaign, and also our daily service specialist. Kimberly, again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us.
You bet. Appreciate it.
Thank you.